Dear students, today the topic is some terms related to change of state of matter. Now this topic is related to chapter 1 of class 8 in subject chemistry. Now the term melting point. Now the term melting, the process of change of a substance from a solid state into its liquid state at a fixed temperature is called melting. So melting is a process in which a substance changes from their solid state into the liquid state at a fixed temperature and is called the melting. As for example, when we taken some ice and heated them, then ice changes into the water. So that process is called melting. Now the next term is the melting point. The fixed temperature at which a solid changes into a liquid is called its melting point. Melting point is a fixed temperature at which solid changes into a liquid. So take an examples of ice again. When we taken some ice and heated to them, then ice slowly changes into the water after heating, when the temperature will come near about to the 0 degree Celsius. Then we can say that the melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Now the next term is the boiling. Boiling, the process of change of a liquid into its vapor state at a fixed temperature is called the boiling. So boiling is also a process in which the liquid changes into its vapor state at a fixed temperature, and that process is called the boiling. Again, we can take the examples of water. Now, if we heat the water, gradually the water becomes converted into changes into the vapor states. So the changing of water into the vapor after heating is called the boiling. Now next term is boiling points. The fixed temperature at which a liquid changes into a vapor is called its boiling. So boiling point is also a fixed temperature at which liquid state changes into the vapor state is called the boiling point. Again, taken examples. When we gradually heated or increase the temperature of the water, then a temperature at 100 degrees Celsius will come when all the water changes into the vapor state, and that particular temperature or fixed temperature, that means the 100 degrees Celsius, is called the boiling point of the water. So the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. At 100 degrees Celsius, all water changes into their vapor state. Now the next term is condensation. Condensation is just reverse of all above. Now, condensation. The change of a substance from its vapor state to liquid state is called condensation. It is also a process in which the substance changes from its vapor state to liquid state, and that process is called the condensation. Let us suppose when we cool down the water vapor, then after some time all water vapor changes into the liquid water, and that process is called condensations. Now next term is condensation point. Condensation point, the temperature at which condensation takes place is called its condensation points. Condensation point is also a fixed temperature at which the condensation takes place. That means the vapor state changes into the liquid state is called the condensation point. Let us suppose when we cool the water vapor, then where water vapor changes into a liquid state at a fixed temperature. That means at 100 degrees Celsius all water vapor converted into the liquid state during cooling. So that fixed temperature is called the condensation point. So condensation point of the water is 100 degrees Celsius. Next term is the freezing. The process of change of a liquid into its solid state on cooling is called freezing. It is also a process in which the liquid state changes into the solid state on cooling is called the freezing. So when we cool the water molecules, then gradually the temperature will come, and after a fixed temperature the all water molecule changes into ice, and that process is called the freezing. Now the next term is freezing point. Freezing point, the fixed temperature at which a liquid changes into a solid is called its freezing point. It is also a fixed temperature, and that fixed temperature on which all the liquid changes into it's a solid. It's called its freezing point. So when we cool the waters, gradually a temperature will come and a fixed temperature will come, and at that fixed temperature the all water converted into ice, and that fixed temperature is 0 degrees Celsius for the liquid water. So the freezing point of liquid water is 0 degrees Celsius. Now next term is the sublimation. The process in which a solid directly changes into its vapor state without passing through the liquid state at all temperature is called sublimation. Now in this process, some substance when heated, then solid state directly changes into liquid state without passing through the solid state directly changes into the vapor state without passing through a liquid state. In sublimation process, solid substance directly passes into its vapor state without passing through a liquid state. So liquid state never comes in this process. Solid directly changes into the vapor state or gaseous state at a fixed temperature, at any temperature, and that process is called the sublimations. Some substances which show the property of sublimations are iodine, camphor, that means kapoor, and naphthalene, and also the ammonium chloride NH4Cl. These all substances show the properties of sublimation process. Now the next term is deposition. The reverse process where vapor converted to a solid is called deposition. Just reverse to the sublimations. It's called deposition, in which the vapor directly converted into solid without passing through the liquid, and that process is called deposition. That means when we cool down the iodine vapor, then iodine vapor directly converted into the solid iodine. So that process is called deposition. Now the last topic is summary of different process involved in the change of state of matters. Now we studied all these process above in this class. Then summary of all the process here is mentioned. When now the solid, liquid and gas, when we heat the solid, then solid converted into the liquid, and that process is called melting. Again we heated the liquid, then a liquid converted into a gas or vapor, and that process is called boiling. And reverse process means when we cool the gas is converted into a first liquids, and that process is called condensations. Again further cooling down the liquids, then liquid converted into a solid, and that process is called freezing. When we heated some sublime substance in which have in solid forms, then solid directly converted into gas without going through the liquid state, and that process is called sublimation. And the reverse process, that means on cooling the sublime substance which in gaseous state, on cooling gas directly converted into the solids, and that process is called depositions. So this is all about the summary of different terms which related to change of a state of matters. Okay, thank you.